let's dive into the ancient, absolutely fascinating world of Indian classical arts. Now, it's a landscape so huge, it can feel a little overwhelming, right? But what we're going to do today is show you how it all connects through two major flowing streams of tradition.
And that's a great question, isn't it? How can you possibly distill thousands of years of culture from a place as vast as India into a single story? Well, the answer is pretty amazing. It lies in this incredible path of division, but also unity, that shaped both its music and its dance.
So, to really get a grip on these two traditions, we have to go way back to their single shared source. We're talking about a foundation that's thousands of years old, laid down in texts that are part scripture, part artistic rulebook.
Okay, so think of this as the two foundational pillars for all of Indian performance. On one hand, you've got the Samaveda, one of the oldest scriptures in the world, and it's all about melody and chant. Then you have the Natya Shastra, this massive, incredible text that lays out the theory for music, dance, and drama so perfectly that it's often called the Fifth Veda. I mean, together, these two form the absolute bedrock for everything that follows.
So, fast forward a bit. Around the 13th century, something interesting starts to happen. A split. The subcontinent's musical tradition begins to branch off into two distinct but still related systems. And that's the fundamental divide we still see today. Hindustani music up in the north and Carnatic music down in the south.
And this slide just breaks it down perfectly. Hindustani music, which you find mostly in the north, began to absorb influences from Persian and Islamic cultures over the centuries. You can literally hear it in the instruments and the way the melodies are structured. Meanwhile, Carnatic music in the south stayed more closely tied to its indigenous roots and Hindu temple traditions, with a really strong emphasis on vocal compositions. So you see, two different paths, but from the very same source.
Now, to really understand Hindustani music, you have to get this concept of the Gharana. The best way to think of it is like a school of thought or maybe an artistic house. It's so much more than just a style. It's a whole lineage passed down from a master to their student, and each one has its own unique way of approaching improvisation and performance.
And for a perfect example, just look at the Gwalior Gharana. It's one of the oldest and most influential. It was founded by Nathan Khan, and its legacy was totally cemented by masters like Mian Tansen, who is this legendary musician in Emperor Akbar's court. This system is exactly how these unique artistic styles are kept alive, but also how they evolve over generations.
All right, so let's shift gears and head south. Carnatic music has its own set of revered figures. Its entire system was basically structured and codified by the work of Purandara Dasa, a composer from the 15th century who was so important, so foundational, that he's known as the father of Carnatic music.
But the real heart of the Carnatic music you hear today, well, it comes from these three giants: Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar, and Shama Sastri. What's amazing is they all lived around the same time in the 18th century, and they composed thousands of devotional pieces, called kritis. These compositions are the absolute core of any Carnatic concert you'll ever go to. Their work really defines the soul of this musical tradition.
Okay, so we've got these two incredibly powerful musical traditions, north and south. But what happens when that music inspires movement? What happens when it starts to dance? Well, this is where we see that same north-south divide, just beautifully mirrored in India's classical dance forms. And you can see the connection so clearly here. Kathak, from North India, is performed to Hindustani music. Its fluid movements and that super complex rhythmic footwork, it all reflects the improvisational, flowing nature of the music. Then, down south, you have Bharatanatyam, which is completely inseparable from Carnatic music. Its strong, almost sculptural poses and deeply expressive gestures are totally tied to the structure and the stories in the Carnatic compositions. The music and the dance are really just two sides of the same artistic coin.
And if you think it stops with Kathak and Bharatanatyam, well, you're in for a treat. They might be the most well-known, but they are just the beginning. India has this incredible, rich variety of classical dance forms, each with its own history, its own style. Let's just take a quick peek.
From Andhra Pradesh, you've got Kuchipudi, which is this vibrant, almost theatrical dance drama.
Then there's Odissi, which comes from the temples of Odisha. It's known for its incredible fluid grace and these very characteristic curved postures. Just beautiful.
And from Kerala, we have Mohiniyattam, the dance of the enchantress, which is all about gentle, swaying movements and this distinctly feminine grace. And honestly, we are just scratching the surface here.
The really incredible thing is that these aren't just museum pieces locked away in the past. No way. These are living, breathing art forms that have managed to survive for millennia and are now absolutely thriving on a global stage.
I mean, think about it. Just back in 2010, UNESCO, the United Nations Cultural Organization, officially recognized the Chow dance, a semi-classical martial dance from eastern India, as a priceless part of humanity's shared heritage, something that needs to be protected for all of us.
And this isn't a one-off thing. It's happening right now. From the folk dances of Rajasthan to the ritual singing of Manipur, and just recently, the amazing Garba of Gujarat. The world is waking up and acknowledging the immense cultural wealth of these Indian traditions. It's a huge testament to their enduring power.
So that leaves us with this really cool thought. These arts have always been evolving, right? They've absorbed influences and adapted to new places, from ancient temples to royal courts to the modern stage. As they keep connecting with global audiences and new generations of artists, you have to wonder, what new forms will they take? What will they sound and look like? Well, that's a story that's still being written, beat by beat and step by step.